If everything fell apart tomorrow, would you be ready? Quick decisions could mean the difference between survival and helplessness. But don't worry, we're here to help. Today, we're revealing 12 affordable grocery store items that could literally save your life during a collapse. And no, these aren't your typical survival kit gadgets. These are everyday essentials sitting on store shelves right now. Items even preppers and ex-military swear by. Here's the kicker. Most people overlook these budget-friendly lifesavers entirely. But trust me, after you know what to grab, you'll never look at a simple grocery run the same way again. Stick around, because item number 9 might already be in your pantry, and it could be your ultimate survival MVP when it all goes downhill. Oh, and we want to hear from you. Have you noticed certain products disappearing from shelves or prices suddenly spiking? Share your observations in the comments. Your insights might just help someone else prepare. Get ready. It's time to stock up smart while you still can. 1. Water filtration systems. Imagine waking up tomorrow to find your water supply cut off. No water flowing from taps, no bottled water on store shelves, and no way to source clean hydration. The truth is, humans can only survive about 3 days without water. This makes water not just essential, but the top survival priority in any collapse scenario. Contrary to popular belief, collecting or boiling water simply isn't enough. Contamination from heavy metals, bacteria, and industrial chemicals can make natural water sources dangerously undrinkable. Enter water filtration systems, a savior in disguise. Simple gravity-fed filters, purification tablets, or even military-grade equipment can turn murky rainwater or a questionable puddle into clean, life-sustaining hydration. These tools are portable, effective, and more affordable than people realize, making them an essential investment. Preppers on platforms like Reddit often rave about their setups, frequently recommending sturdy yet inexpensive brands. Some opt for at-home reverse osmosis systems, while others keep lightweight straw-style personal filters for emergencies. Meanwhile, some communities promote bulk storage of filtered water because even with purification tools, having a supply ready is a must in an extended breakdown. Don't make the mistake of waiting until disaster strikes before understanding how to treat water. Stock up now. Practice using purification tools. And remember that water is not only your lifeline, it's the first thing to disappear when chaos hits. 2. Long-term food stockpile. Picture your fridge suddenly shutting down without power. With nothing cold to preserve your groceries, you'd quickly realize how little prepared food you actually have. And when you glance out to deserted streets or looted grocery stores, it would hit you. There are no delivery trucks coming to save the day. From hurricanes to long-term crises, a scarcity of food is one of the fastest and most visible signs of a societal collapse. A long-term food supply is not just precautionary, it's essential. Experts recommend maintaining at least a 90-day reserve of food that's shelf-stable and nutrient-dense. Yet most households in America have only about a week of food in their cupboards. Preparing isn't about hoarding canned soup. It's about creating a smart, sustainable supply of long-lasting items. Preppers tend to lean toward freeze-dried meals, vacuum-packed grains, and foods like lentils, rice, and pasta that can last for years when stored properly. These types of items aren't just practical. They're also compact, making it possible to stockpile without taking up excessive space. And it's not just survivalist blogs promoting this preparation. Major bulk retailers have seen a rise in customers snapping up their survival food kits. Food isn't just sustenance during a collapse, it becomes a form of currency. When chaos reigns and shelves are bare, food retains its value, becoming as important as fuel or medical supplies. Don't overlook the psychological component either. Having basic spices like salt, garlic powder, or even hot sauce can boost morale and flavor when meals become monotonous. Stockpile wisely, and you might just find your kitchen is the most valuable asset in your home if society crumbles. 3. Emergency medications. For many people, survival isn't just about food and water. It depends on access to life-saving medications. Whether it's something as common as blood pressure pills or as crucial as insulin, a society without functioning pharmacies would leave millions vulnerable. Pharmacies are designed to operate as just-in-time supply chains, meaning they stock only a few days' worth of essential medications at a time. If those supply chains break down, people relying on prescriptions could face a dire situation almost immediately. The first step to preparing is simple yet critical. Stockpile a 90-day supply of any medications you or your family members depend on. This doesn't just mean prescribed drugs. It also includes over-the-counter items like painkillers, antihistamines, electrolyte tablets, and antacids. These everyday items often get overlooked in preps, but they can quickly become essential comforts and aids when professional healthcare is out of reach. Some savvy preppers are even taking the extra step of vacuum sealing medications to extend their shelf life. Others suggest stocking animal-grade antibiotics. While not officially approved for human use in the United States, they've become a backup option in desperate times for some prepping communities. This approach might sound extreme, but in a collapse, backup plans could save your life. Beyond stockpiling, another aspect of preparedness is knowledge. Learn about alternative remedies or first response strategies for maintaining health without access to traditional medicine. Modern medicine has given humanity the luxury of stability, but when that stability is gone, only those who've planned will hold the upper hand. Believe it or not, something as small as a bottle of ibuprofen could become as valuable as gold when disaster strikes. 4. Multi-tool or survival knife. Imagine being thrust into a survival situation with just one item at your disposal. What would it be? If your answer isn't a multi-tool or a survival knife, you're underestimating one of the most versatile tools in existence. When everything breaks down, be it society, supply chains, or communication, a high-quality blade becomes your go-to for everything from cutting cords to ensuring your safety. A sturdy multi-tool or survival knife packs an incredible range of functions into a compact, portable design. You can use it to slice through tangled rope, carve wood for shelter, prepare food, or even fend off potential threats. Beyond the obvious tasks, its capabilities extend to opening cans, dismantling objects, and sparking a fire. It essentially serves as 17 tools in one, earning its place as a non-negotiable survival item. Experienced preppers swear by stainless steel blades for their strength and durability. Look for models with added features like screwdrivers, wire cutters, and built-in fire starters. While you might be tempted to skimp on the cost, remember that cheap tools are prone to snapping or dulling quickly, a risk you can't afford in a survival scenario. A dependable multi-tool isn't just another piece of gear, it's a lifeline. It's also a psychological game changer. Simply holding a tool that you know puts control back in your hands can boost your confidence in dire situations. When the world around you feels uncertain, a trusty blade offers a sense of empowerment and preparedness that no digital app or unreliable device can match. 5. First aid kit and medical supplies. No hospital, no doctor, no emergency room. What happens when you find yourself injured or ill in a collapsing society? Those basic first aid supplies gathering dust under your bathroom sink won't cut it. When access to professional care is severed, having a well-equipped first aid kit becomes as crucial as water and food. A proper first aid kit goes beyond adhesive bandages and aspirin. It's about having the tools and supplies to handle both minor injuries and serious medical emergencies. Think trauma-grade items like tourniquets, wound cleaning solutions, and sutures. Add in gauze, burn creams, wound glue, and antiseptic wipes to cover a range of scenarios. Painkillers, anti-inflammatory drugs, electrolyte powders, and anti-diarrheal medications are just as critical. They can mean the difference between staying functional and becoming incapacitated. Medical preparedness also extends to items you might not immediately think of, such as gloves, tweezers, or even dental repair kits. Even the smallest injuries, like a cut or a splinter, can escalate into serious infections without proper treatment. According to survival experts, wound infections are one of the leading killers in long-term survival scenarios. Prepping your first aid kit with these essentials ensures you're ready for the unpredictability of disasters. Proactive preppers even go a step further, learning basic medical procedures and acquiring manuals on administering first aid. Being medically self-sufficient puts you ahead of the chaos when access to healthcare vanishes. A stocked first aid kit is more than just a precaution. It's an investment in survival. And when you add the knowledge to use what's inside, you turn a simple box into an invaluable life-saving tool. 6. Portable communication devices. The lights go out. Your phone screen displays no service. Suddenly, you're cut off from the world. Now imagine that this isn't just for hours, but for days or even weeks. You have no way to check in with loved ones, no access to vital news, and no idea what's happening outside your immediate surroundings. Without proper communication tools, this isolation can turn a bad situation into a deadly one. Portable communication devices are your solution. At the top of this category is the hand crank emergency radio, a reliable lifeline when all other networks fail. These devices don't require batteries or a power grid. A simple turn of the crank powers them up, giving you access to local weather reports, emergency broadcasts, and important updates. Many modern models even include features like USB charging ports, SOS beacons, and solar power options, making them indispensable in a survival scenario. Don't overlook the role of walkie-talkies either. While emergency radios keep you informed, walkie-talkies ensure you stay connected with others in your survival group. They operate independently of cell towers, meaning you can communicate even when the grid is completely down. This ability to coordinate with others creates a significant survival advantage, especially in high-stress situations where reacting quickly can mean life or death. The knowledge gained from these tools goes beyond safety. It provides peace of mind. Being informed helps you make better decisions and keeps fear at bay. Crippling uncertainty can paralyze people during a crisis. But if you know what's happening and can stay in touch with others, you'll maintain a crucial edge. A portable communication device, whether it's sending out distress signals or just keeping you updated with nearby weather conditions, could be the one thing that keeps you a step ahead in survival. 7. Backup power. What happens when the power grid fails and it doesn't come back? A power outage for a few hours is inconvenient, but imagine living without electricity for days, weeks, or even months. The stakes rise dramatically when you factor in food spoiling in the fridge, no way to charge essential devices, and a home plunged into complete darkness. Backup power isn't a luxury in such situations, it's a lifeline. Compact generators and solar power kits are growing in popularity among the preparedness-minded. These tools keep essential appliances like refrigerators, medical devices, and communication gadgets operational, even when the grid collapses completely. Solar battery packs, in particular, are a game changer. Unlike traditional fuel-powered generators that are noisy and dependent on finite fuel, solar packs recharge silently using sunlight. This portability and sustainability make them invaluable in a long-term crisis. Many preppers recommend starting with something small, such as a portable power bank or solar charger, and gradually investing in larger solutions like home battery kits. This layered approach ensures that your backup system can scale based on your needs. And it's not just utility. Backup power offers peace of mind. Picture your neighbors struggling in the dark while you can keep the lights on, charge your devices, and monitor updates through powered communication tools. Others may panic, but you'll remain calm, prepared, and in control. Backup power is about more than staying connected. It's about retaining some degree of normalcy when everything else feels chaotic. Planning ahead by acquiring a small generator or solar kit could make all the difference when the grid goes silent. 8. Hard currency and offline assets. When the banking system collapses, your plastic debit and credit cards become nothing more than useless decorations in your wallet. ATMs run dry, banks shutter their doors, and even online payment systems go offline. Now, ask yourself, what would you use to barter or purchase necessities in a world where digital money systems are incapacitated? The answer lies in tangible assets and offline currency options. Experts in disaster preparedness have long argued that cash is king in the immediate aftermath of a collapse. Small bills are especially valuable since large denominations may be difficult to break. But cash only goes so far. Precious metals like silver and gold have stood the test of time as crisis currencies. Unlike paper money, they hold intrinsic universal value, making them trusted forms of payment when trust in traditional institutions falters. It's no coincidence that during financial collapses in places like Venezuela, metals and resources replaced government-issued currency as the main medium of exchange. Another emerging player in the preparedness world is offline cryptocurrency storage. Cold wallets, like USB-based hardware wallets, allow you to hold digital assets securely without relying on internet access or third-party institutions. This form of wealth storage isn't yet mainstream in all survival circles, but it's quickly gaining traction as an option to diversify barter and trade resources. Beyond money, consider bartering. When traditional financial systems fail, basic survival items such as food, water, and even cigarettes often replace cash as the dominant form of trade. Preppers frequently stash small, highly tradable items like lighters, alcohol miniatures, or batteries that can serve as secondary currencies. The goal here is simple: flexibility. Having a mix of cash, metal coins, and barter goods ensures you'll always have something to offer in exchange for what you need. Investing in tangible assets and alternative currencies now gives you the advantage in the uncertain economy of a collapse. While others scramble to adjust, you'll already be ahead of the curve. 9. Seeds and gardening tools. Imagine this: your food stockpile has dwindled down to nothing, grocery stores remain empty, and there's no food distribution in sight. What now? While a carefully planned food reserve is crucial for short-term survival, a sustainable food source is what will see you through long-term crises. This is where seeds and gardening tools become invaluable. Food security doesn't end with what you can store. It extends to what you can grow. Heirloom seeds, unlike hybrid or genetically modified varieties, are an essential starting point for survival gardening. These seeds not only produce nutritious fruits and vegetables, but also allow you to harvest new seeds from your crops, making them a renewable resource. Every seed planted is a meal waiting to grow, empowering you to take control of your food supply rather than relying on unpredictable systems. Gardening tools are just as vital as the seeds themselves. A hand trowel, a sturdy pair of gloves, a watering can, and sturdy containers for composting may seem simple, but they're your foundation for creating a functional garden. For urban dwellers or those with limited space, even small-scale efforts like container gardening on a balcony can yield essential produce like tomatoes, peppers, or herbs. Recent global events like the COVID-19 pandemic underscored the fragility of food supply chains and sparked a renewed interest in home gardening. During early lockdowns, seed shortages were rampant, signaling just how quickly resources can become inaccessible. Preparedness isn't just about having seeds on hand. It's about cultivating the knowledge and experience required to keep a garden thriving. A survival garden transforms a patch of soil into food security and independence. It's a proactive measure that ensures when food supplies dwindle, you'll still have a path forward. Start now by collecting heirloom seeds and building a basic gardening toolkit, because in a collapse, every plant you grow becomes a lifeline. 10. Protective clothing and materials. When people imagine survival, they often think of food, water, or maybe basic tools, but few consider the air they'll breathe or the hazardous conditions they may encounter. Toxic particles, chemical spills, or even extreme weather events can turn a life-threatening situation into a race against time. This is where protective clothing and materials step in. Investing in items like N95 masks or full-face respirators gives you the ability to filter harmful particles such as ash, smoke, or biological contaminants from your breathing air. These masks gained global prominence during the COVID-19 pandemic and wildfires across the United States. But beyond health crises, consider industrial failures. Think chemical spills or gas leaks, and how unprepared most people are for such emergencies. Adding chemical-resistant gloves, a pair of goggles, and even a disposable set of coveralls to your survival kit can give you an invaluable layer of defense against exposure to hazardous agents. One item often overlooked but widely recommended by experts like FEMA is a roll of heavy-duty plastic sheeting. Paired with duct tape, this simple material can be used to seal windows, doors, or even create a temporary clean air shelter. The benefits extend far beyond protecting against environmental toxins. You can use these materials to patch leaky roofs, cover broken windows, or create makeshift waterproof barriers. The lack of protective gear often leads to preventable illnesses and injuries in disaster scenarios. Don't wait for the air to turn sour to realize that a survival backpack devoid of safety gear could cost you more than just physical comfort. Prepare now, and you'll be ready to face what others can't. 11. Light and signaling tools. Pitch-black darkness is more than an inconvenience. It's a psychological and physical hazard. Imagine a disaster that plunges the entire grid into silence. No streetlights, no cell phone glow, and no ambient light to guide your way. Without reliable light, even tasks as simple as walking become dangerous. Panic sets in quickly when your senses fail you, and it's in this chaos that the importance of light and signaling tools truly shines. A high-quality flashlight is more than just a comfort item. It's one of the most practical survival tools you'll own. Tactical flashlights, equipped with high lumens and rechargeable battery options, provide reliable illumination and often come with strobe or SOS settings for emergencies. Hand crank or solar-powered flashlights add an extra layer of preparedness as they don't rely on traditional batteries. You'll find that even a small flashlight can serve multiple purposes, illuminating hidden obstacles, signaling your position from afar, or even deterring threats from animals or other people. For longer-term survival, having a secondary lighting system, such as LED lanterns or wearable headlamps, helps you conserve your primary flashlight for specific tasks. Don't overlook signaling devices like whistles or signal mirrors. A whistle is lightweight, yet cuts through environmental noise far more effectively than yelling. And a signal mirror can reflect sunlight across distances of up to 10 miles, making it incredibly valuable in search and rescue scenarios. A startling statistic highlights how important these tools are. According to the National Park Service, a significant percentage of people who die while lost in the wilderness are found within 1 mile of safety. They just weren't visible or audible to rescuers. Whether you're lost, trapped, or simply trying to stay visible in an urban blackout, light and signaling tools amplify your presence and ensure you're not forgotten. They aren't just gadgets. They're lifelines you can't afford to overlook. 12. Cordage, tarps, and shelter materials. The ability to create shelter is one of the most essential survival skills. Without protection from the elements, exposure to cold, wind, and rain can quickly become deadly. Even in moderate conditions, having no place to rest saps energy and morale, worsening your overall condition. This is where the often overlooked combination of cordage, tarps, and basic shelter knowledge becomes crucial. Cordage, a blanket term for ropes, paracord, and other strong, flexible materials, is the backbone of any DIY shelter. Durable paracord, in particular, is a staple among preppers as its lightweight design and versatility make it irreplaceable in survival kits. Strong enough to hold up to 550 pounds, its internal strands can double as smaller ropes for fishing lines or stitching wounds. With simple knots, cordage transforms branches and tarps into life-saving structures. Tarps round out this trifecta of survival accessories. Far from being a bulky inconvenience, a thick, waterproof tarp offers endless possibilities. It can serve as a roof over your head, a ground covering to insulate your sleeping bag, or even a rainwater collector. Urban or suburban preppers can use tarps to cover broken windows, sections of damaged roofs, or as privacy shields. Fold them, anchor them, and they adapt to your needs time and again. The magic happens when you combine cordage and tarps with a survival mindset. A simple lean-to using these tools can be assembled in minutes, providing protection from rain or sun. Add duct tape to your kit, and the applications skyrocket. You can patch holes, bind wounds, or reinforce temporary shelter designs. The versatility of these materials is unmatched, making them indispensable for anyone serious about survival. Even in urban disaster zones, where concrete replaces forest, these tools play a crucial role. Imagine a post-hurricane city block with shattered windows and leaking roofs. Tarps and cordage can turn a crumbling home into a livable space again. Your ability to outlast a storm, or just a grim night, may come down to something as simple as having these key items within reach. 13. Tradables and barter items. Cash might be king today, but in a genuine collapse, the entire monetary system could become worthless overnight. Banks lock their doors, ATMs run dry, and online payment systems go offline. When this happens, barter becomes the new economy. And those who've prepared with tradable items will find themselves holding the keys to survival. The beauty of barter items lies in their simplicity. Everyday products like toilet paper, lighters, alcohol, over-the-counter medications, and even feminine hygiene products can skyrocket in value during a crisis. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're essentials that people will trade almost anything to acquire when stores are empty and supplies run dry. History is filled with examples of this. During Venezuela's economic crisis, for instance, basic goods like soap and aspirin held more value than money. Similarly, in other global collapses, cigarettes and alcohol became forms of currency, exchanged for food, fuel, and other necessities. Savvy preppers suggest preparing small, lightweight items specifically for bartering. Miniature bottles of alcohol, packs of batteries, orals of duct tape are excellent options because they're cheap to acquire, easy to store, and highly desirable in a collapse. Some even go a step further, storing these items in airtight Mylar bags, or burying them at bug-out locations for added security. The key to effective barter lies in versatility. Choose items that are universally needed or emotionally comforting, things people won't want to go without, no matter how dire the situation becomes. And while you're at it, consider the bargaining power these items provide. When you have something to trade, you gain leverage over situations, turning scarcity into an opportunity for negotiation. Barter goods are more than emergency supplies. They're your survival currency. 14. Knowledge and manuals. When systems fail, we rely on what we know, or what we can quickly learn. But there's a hard truth most people don't consider until it's too late. Without Google, YouTube, or phone apps, how much useful knowledge do you genuinely have at your disposal? The answer for most is not nearly enough. That's why physical knowledge resources like survival handbooks, farming guides, first aid manuals, and even books on foraging or hunting are as essential as the tools in your survival kit. Information is power, especially when it comes to survival. A well-curated library of guides can teach you how to purify water, grow crops, treat injuries, or build shelter. Emergency first aid guides, in particular, are critical for learning how to use medical supplies correctly. Practical survival manuals, like those used in wilderness survival training or by the military, go beyond theory. They're packed with actionable steps that can save lives. Printed books have one massive advantage over digital formats. They don't rely on electricity. When batteries are dead and electronics are useless, a physical manual will always work. Consider books a long-term investment. They don't have expiry dates, don't run out, and can be used repeatedly by multiple members of your family or group. Another critical aspect of self-reliance is practicing these skills before disaster strikes. Use your survival handbooks now to learn techniques like tying knots, identifying edible plants, or starting a fire without matches. The more skills you develop, the less you'll need to depend on tools or trade during a collapse. Knowledge weighs nothing but equips you with everything you need to adapt and overcome. 15. Morale boosters. When survival drags on, maintaining physical strength is only half the battle. Keeping your morale intact can mean the difference between perseverance and giving up. Most people overlook the importance of emotional resilience in a collapse. But experienced survivalists know that mental fortitude is just as crucial as having food and water. This is where morale-boosting items come into play. Morale boosters are the small, lightweight comforts that remind you of normal life. They could be as simple as a deck of cards, a musical instrument, or a favorite treat like chocolate or hard candy. These items take up little space and don't cost much. But their value in keeping spirits high during emotionally taxing times can't be overstated. For families, including small toys or games for children can help normalize difficult days and provide distraction from the chaos outside. Music, in particular, is universally uplifting. Whether it's a harmonica, ukulele, or even just a wind-up radio with a built-in music feature, sound has the power to comfort and connect people. Shared experiences around music or storytelling can help build camaraderie within teams or families, fostering a sense of unity and hope. Another morale booster is comfort food. A stash of spices, instant coffee, or snack bars can turn a bland survival meal into something familiar and satisfying. These little luxuries remind you of better times and inspire resilience, even when everything else seems bleak. Lastly, maintain a journal or small notebook. Writing becomes therapeutic in a crisis, allowing you to process complex emotions, document important information, or even leave messages behind if needed. With morale-boosting items incorporated into your kit, you're not just keeping your body alive. You're protecting your mind and soul, ensuring that you have the strength to endure when the collapse stretches days into weeks. 16. Fire starters. Fire is the heart of survival, yet its importance is often underestimated until it's needed most. Whether it's purifying water with boiling, cooking food, providing warmth, or warding off predators, fire is an indispensable element of any preparedness plan. But in a crisis, many people quickly discover how challenging it can be to start a fire without the proper tools. That's why reliable fire starters are an essential item for anyone building a survival kit. Standard lighters like Bic are convenient, but experts recommend redundancy when it comes to fire starting materials. Matches, for instance, are a simple and affordable addition to your gear. Look for waterproof or stormproof matches, which are specially designed to ignite in wet or windy conditions when regular options fail. Another exceptional option is a ferrocerium rod, commonly known as a fire steel. Compact, durable, and capable of producing sparks even when wet. These rods are favored by survivalists for their reliability and longevity compared to disposable alternatives. Don't forget tinder packs. While natural materials like dry grass or bark can work in a pinch, having pre-made tinder such as wax-coated cotton balls or magnesium shavings ensures you'll have what you need when every second counts. Also noteworthy are small fire-starting aids like flares or fire gels, which can sustain flames long enough to ignite damp wood. Fire is more than just practical. It's a psychological boost in survival situations. A crackling flame provides comfort, a sense of normalcy, and a strong deterrent against many of the fears that come with total darkness. Stocking multiple fire-starting tools ensures that whether it's rain, snow, or high winds, you'll have the ability to strike a flame when it matters most. 17. Water storage and collection. Clean water is hands down the most critical component for survival. But storing and collecting it is a challenge many people overlook. A water filtration system helps make existing water sources safe to drink. But what happens when you need to transport or store larger amounts? This is where proper water storage and collection tools become game changers in a survival scenario. Collapsible water containers are an excellent choice for emergency preparedness. Lightweight and compact when not in use, these containers can hold large volumes of water when expanded. They're ideal for collecting rainwater or transporting water from nearby sources like rivers and lakes. Many models include spigots for easy dispensing, eliminating the need to pour or tip the container awkwardly when space is limited. Rain barrels are another lifesaver. Designed to collect and store rainwater, they allow you to utilize one of nature's most abundant resources. Pairing a rain barrel system with a basic gutter diversion installation or tarp setup provides a consistent water collection method. Modern barrels often come with filters to remove basic impurities, so you're adding an extra layer of protection to your water while providing a ready reserve for washing or irrigation. Keeping a stock of resealable containers or bottles is another rarely discussed but invaluable strategy. Clean, empty soda bottles or food-safe jugs can store drinking water indefinitely if treated with a few drops of bleach or a water purification treatment. They can also be easily carried and distributed when necessary, especially in scenarios where mobility is urgent. Water isn't just a survival need, it's a survival currency in any collapse. People will trade supplies, labor, and even protection for access to clean water. By having the means to store and collect your own, you ensure not only your survival but also your leverage in a world where water may reign as the ultimate resource.